Hi everyone, my name is Audrey, and as I mentioned in my previous videos, I have done a Disney college program before, and I am currently going back to do my second college program. And yeah, so I thought I would do what I spend in a week, the first week of the Disney College Program edition. I've seen videos of the trend of the what I spend in a week video, and then I've seen a lot of DCP videos about like how expensive is the DCP. So I've never seen anyone do what I spend a week on the DCP or what I spend in a week on the DCP, so I thought that I would share that with you guys. So obviously these numbers are a little bit old. They're from 2018, but I still would like to give people an idea of how much they're going to spend doing the Disney College Program their very first week. Like what do you need to set aside at the minimum to be able to do the program, to be able to get down there. I mean, obviously you could cut down on some things. I ate out a lot. I did a lot of unnecessary things, but I'm going to give you an idea of what I spent. Before I get started, I just wanted to say there are a few costs that are not factored into this because I spent them beforehand, but things that I actually ended up using the week of. So I had about $150 shipping fee to ship a bunch of bedding to my grandparents. This actually saved me a lot of money when I was there. My grandparents live in Vero Beach, so that is something that most people wouldn't be able to get away with. You can't ship anything to your apartment complex even when you know where you're going. And of course you need bedding like your very first night. So there's really no way around that. Of having to buy bedding, and it can go, bedding can range anywhere from $50 for a really cheap set, probably, maybe a little bit more, $75, $100. Hello! Hi! Hello! My. You just want to go outside, huh? You want to go outside, huh? Oh yeah, you good boy. Come on, let's let you out. Okay. I'll be back. To, a lot more money, like $150 or so. So for the really nice set that I had, it was worth it for me to just send it down and have it there. Hello! Hi! Hello! My. You just want to go outside, huh? You want to go outside, huh? Oh yeah, you good boy. Come on, let's let you out. Okay. I'll be back. Okay, hopefully I'm not in too different of a spot. I don't remember exactly what I was saying. But yeah, so my bedding was shipped down, and I did pay for that about 2 weeks before I had it shipped. I would say most people can't probably do that. It did save me a lot of money, so if you have any family in Florida, maybe ask them if you can store some stuff with them for a couple weeks. But I did do that a couple weeks before, so I'm not counting it in my weekly total, but I did want to just let you know that there are some costs that you can pay for up front to try and reduce how much it is on the actual day. But I had to pay for a hotel room, which I paid for in advance. It was about $100, as well as a plane ticket, about $100 as well. Obviously the bedding thing, if you're not doing it, then you are going to have to factor those costs into your first week. But for me, not something that I had to think about. So all my other costs are very well documented here, so I'll just go through them really quickly and share them with you. So, at Walmart, we went to Walmart after I checked in, after I had just gotten out of the, so we stayed at the hotel, we stayed at the Holiday Inn that's across from Vista, even though I was checking into Chatham. I'd say that's a good place to stay. We did have some really bad noise because of some construction that they were doing at like a restaurant or something nearby. It was so loud. Like, I just could not sleep. It sounded like it was right outside of our room. As well as they randomly sent us to the wrong room, which I understand happens, but like, it was just a weird experience. And even the Ruby Tuesdays or whatever it is inside of it, that was a weird experience, and like, I will not go back there, even though I had a friend who went there literally the next morning, who said she had a fine experience. So we also ended up going to Panera that morning with my grandmother, and she paid for that, so there was no kind of cost there for me, but I would guess I spent about $9 or so there, just based on other purchases I've made at Panera. They're kind of expensive. So yeah, so then we went to Walmart, and at Walmart, you know, getting all the basics. I got like jugs of water, I got, you know, pasta, things that I could make really easily, and things that I thought that I would eat in my program. Did I eat the pasta? No. Did I drink the water? Yes. So I would say just as much as you can, try and bring down your costs for food. I ended up also probably buying like 1 or 2 things to have in the apartment, like, you know, like a bath rug, or I have no idea what I ended up buying, like toilet paper or something, because we split up those costs. So yeah, I would say just be realistic with yourself. It's hard to know like what you're gonna need, especially if you have a car. I wouldn't go crazy buying everything that you could possibly need. And also don't buy like house, like cups or anything, because they give them to you. Cups and spoons and knives and stuff you don't need. Maybe get a couple more cups. There's not quite enough cups, I would say, but maybe just wait until you go to somewhere else. Like, don't get them at Walmart or anything. Like, wait until you get to, like, get Disney cups or something if you want, like, mugs or anything for in the future and stuff. So, later that night, we ended up going to Disney Springs, and I ate an Orlo sandwich, and I spent about $10.63 there. The very next day, we went to... I'll try and insert photos if I have any photos of the night. I mean, obviously, I don't have a photo of me eating Orlo sandwich, but I'll try and insert any photos that I have. The next day, we went resort hopping, my roommates and I. I did all this stuff with my roommates, by the way. And we had Dole Whips, which mine came out to be $4.75. And then we went over to the Grand Floridian, and we had a Gasparilla Grill. I don't remember exactly what I ate at all. Probably chicken nuggets, if I know myself. And that was $10.64. The very next day, we're starting to get close to Traditions, so we ended up going to TJ Maxx to try and find some Traditions clothes. I already had Traditions clothes, but I know one or two of my roommates didn't, so we ended up going, just having a shopping day, because only one of my roommates had a car. So we ended up eating at Moe's, which cost $12.79. So at Moe's it was $12.79. Moe's is my absolute favorite place to eat. I know that I had just said probably earlier that Orlo sandwich is my favorite place. I love them both. They're both just the best to me. But then, like I was saying, we went to TJ Maxx. I bought a shirt there for $13.96. And that shirt, I thought that I would be able to steam a little seam out of it. It was from American Eagle. It was just like a little, like, it was very professional. Like, it was a collared shirt, although it was more of a tank kind of style, but it was kind of buttoned down, and I thought I'd be able to iron out. It never came out. So I was just like, I wore it once or twice to go on like tours and stuff when I had to do my Hollywood Studios tour, but it was basically $14 out the window. So I love that for me. And then later, some point in the week, we ended up going to 7-Eleven, and I spent $1.38 on a slush. And then I ended up going to Vero Beach to visit my grandparents, and I spent $8.28 on a slice of pizza or a whole pizza. I don't know how much. I don't know. But at Villa Pizza, I spent $8.28. And I probably ate a lot with my grandparents. Like, I probably ate at their house a lot. They prefer to kind of eat in. And then I went to CVS. Because I had forgotten something at their apartment, I think, or like when I had gone to visit them, I didn't think I brought like a toothbrush or something, or like deodorant, so I ended up spending $24.68. I have no idea what I bought there, but yeah. Then it was time to do Traditions, so I went through Traditions. I brought my lunch. It was all good. No really costs there. But then, of course, later that night, we were able to get into the Magic Kingdom. So, of course, I went to the Magic Kingdom. And so, we didn't have any plans or anything. This is legitimately, like, the best day of my life, and I will be inserting photos because I do have a lot of photos from this day. So, the first place that we ate was Gaston's Tavern. It was $5.32. I'm not sure if I just got a LeFou's brew or if I also got a cinnamon roll, or if we split the price or something. I'm not exactly sure. I think that we had a cinnamon roll at the very least, because I remember splitting it with Nikki, like, vaguely, and I think it was that day. And then we had been, like, hemming and hawing. We had gone to we had gotten reservations at Liberty Tree Tavern because, you know, you can kind of just get reservations there whenever. And then, you know, we'd been like, oh man, wouldn't it be so cool if we could get into Be Our Guest? So we went by Be Our Guest. They're like, yeah, no, there's no real reservations right now, but you can try again after fireworks and see what we can do. So we go back, we watched fireworks actually from behind. I think we ended up watching them from behind the castle, which is not how I would suggest it ever. But then we rushed over right after, and we went to Be Our Guest, and they were like, okay. So Nikki and I had been like, we were sitting off to the side, like on a stone wall, and our friend Ken went up, and he was like, okay, follow me. And we were like, wait, what? And we went to Be Our Guest. So we canceled our reservation at Liberty Tree, and I spent $45 on dinner at Be Our Guest. Obviously, that would be a lot more expensive now, and that is kind of ridiculous. $45 is a lot of money. I would suggest going there for lunch, if you can. Or breakfast if you're on the dining plan, but breakfast is a little pricey, I would say. And then at the end of the night, I ended up buying something at the Emporium, and that was $38.33. I have no idea what I bought. My overall categories, so on food, I ended up spending $98.79. So that doesn't include my Walmart bill. I counted that as shopping just because there's kind of no way to tell like what was shopping and what was food, although I think that was mostly food. As well as on shopping, I spent $175.16. So obviously a lot of this could have been like preventable. Obviously the Walmart I'd say is non-negotiable. I needed to buy those. But whatever I spent at TJ Maxx, again, I basically threw out that money. CVS, if I had just like paid attention and brought the things that I needed, or maybe I wasn't even expecting to stay over the night. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But yeah, so I didn't have to spend that $25 or that like about $40. And then I, of course, bought some stuff at the Emporium, which probably I didn't need anyway. So if you're really trying to keep costs down, I would just wait until you start working, really, to buy stuff. I mean, obviously, I was paid for when I went to orientation, which is Traditions. So obviously, I was paid for that, but yeah. Yeah, so that is my my first week of the Disney College program and how much I spent. It definitely could have been a lot more had I had to buy bedding and things like that. But it also, I could have, you know, cut back in certain places. I didn't need to go to Be Our Guest. Although I probably would have spent nearly as much at Liberty Tree. Though we do get our cast discount there, so whatever. It was well worth it to go there. It was a really, really magical night and a really, really fun week. And I would be totally willing to do my last week of the DCP and how much I spent. I actually did go on a vacation. I've gone on a couple of vacations since. Obviously, I'm really, really lucky to have friends who still work there. So I end up spending a lot less. But if you'd be interested to see that, I do have entire like accounts of how much I've spent. As well as, you know, just other things along those lines. I can also definitely document if you want to see like what I spend in a week as a college student. It's not very interesting. It's mostly just eating food. But I can also talk about that, as well as I can also talk about my week going down to the Disney College program again and all the costs that it's going to be more. I think, because I'm actually like moving into an apartment and I'm actually hoping to move down to Florida permanently. But yeah, so that is everything. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you want to follow my journey moving down to Florida and moving to Disney World and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys in the next one.